Okay, welcome to the Habitat issue triage for Tuesday, April 17th. I'm going to post the link in general. Hopefully that works. Share screen. Okay. All right. So here we go. We have 23 issues that need triage. The first one here is Habitat 4939. Just anchor point position to lower on the net in the dots. This looks like a legitimate thing, yeah?
Yeah, this is probably a good, yeah, we should just do it. We made some navigation changes recently, and yeah, paddings and things have happened, and so yeah, we should just do that. It's pretty simple.
So this is Does this go in the front end vertical? Is that what this is?
Yeah, just drop it in the front end vertical.
All right, next up, builder 376. Propagate channel tag to Docker Hub on promotion.
Yeah, so this is a feature request, I think, for whenever you promote a package. They was it Timberman that submitted this? Yeah, they want to push a new tag to Docker Hub for the new channel, if that makes sense. So like right now when you do a build, like everything's unstable, and so it gets pushed to Docker Hub as the unstable channel. Well, actually, this is like a two-part bug, I think.
Yeah,
it's a bug feature.
Okay.
But the channel always gets set as stable, even though the package in builder is unstable. So that's the bug. So we might want to tease this out into two issues.
All right. Does one of you want to do that? I guess we should.
I'll go ahead and make sure that a bug gets posted for the behavior of promotion to unstable ending up with a tag that says stable. I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then this actually is something we want to do then, it sounds like. Okay. Next up, Habitat 4934. Improved builder onboarding. This already has a ton of labels on it.
Yeah, actually, this probably should just be in the backlog directly and not in needs triage. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. That was easy. Next up, Habitat 4932. Button in builder to create an issue for fresh versions.
Oh, I see. So you just want like a quick link, like one of those like floating sidebar buttons or something that's like see an issue, submit an issue.
So this button would like create a GitHub issue?
It would just take you to like a GitHub issue with like a template that it would pre-fill in. So I think when Shalak submitted this, he was wanting a version bump for .NET Core, but probably had to go figure out which versions and stuff himself.
Oh, got it. So this is, I see. You see a package and you're like, I'd like an updated version of this. So I just click the button and it files an issue for me.
Yeah.
It says, please update to this package to this version. I see.
Oh, sorry. I just overheard .NET Core and Shalom Shalom. So just to jump in real quick, I also submitted a PR to Core Plans yesterday that actually takes care of all the .NET Core refreshing. So he did. This must be a different issue because I did respond to an issue that he created and I closed it in the Habitat repo regarding that. But
it sounds like this is a more kind of general purpose solution to easily create an issue to update, like so that it comes to our attention that a package needs to be updated.
Oh, got it.
So like later on, he finds that, you know, core tree or whatever has been updated to a new version. He wants a habitat package, so he just clicks the button.
Yeah, that actually that's not a bad idea, but okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too, and I can see how that might be kind of nice. You know, if you're in Builder, you're looking for something, you have a problem with a package or something, it might be sort of nice to have some easy way to submit some issue with it or some request about it. So I can see how that could be kind of a nice UX add.
Okay, I'll put it in the backlog then. Let's see. Feature.
You know, for what it's worth, I think Jira has this built in as an issue collector.
Good to know.
It's worth so much. It's worth a lot to know that.
All right, next step, Habitat 4927. Minimize restarts when deploying set of config plus file uploads for a service. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. This sounds reasonable at first glance. I don't know a ton about the supervisor, but
so I think we do have hooks. We hold on, I'm digging deep now. For config updates, maybe that would allow you to change. Well, so I think we propagate the event. I can't remember if we propagate the event type through to the restart hook. So you might be able to match like a case statement in the restart based on that. Like if the config file is updated, don't actually restart the service, just send it a hub or something. But I don't remember what exactly we pass, if we pass any information in terms of data to that hook. Either way, if it doesn't exist, we should add it. I think it would be a useful feature.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put it in the backlog then. Nope. In autopilot here, this is supervisor. All right, next up is Habitat 4926. Request way to query census with file uploads omitted.
Yeah, I could see this filtering for sure. I think I could see it being useful. Like what fields what top level fields, or maybe as a first pass, what top level fields you want back.
Sure. Okay. Next is Habitat 4925. Lifecycle hooks removed from the package or not removed from the source directory.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that seems like a bug, right?
Yeah, I think this is probably related to that other one that we fixed about the default .toml not getting updated when the package was updated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, next. Habitat 4924. Ability to do a rolling config update or file upload.
Yeah, I've been thinking for a long time, like we really need that because we went to all this trouble to make sure that updates, work in a rolling fashion. But the fact of the matter is, it's you can do a config update, and there is no rolling strategy for that. It's basically you're stuck with an at once, and everything goes down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is something I've come across, and it's actually a little bit surprising. The expectation that I've had from users that I've worked with is they expect a config update to be rolling, and then they're surprised when it's not, and it causes issues. So I think this is actually quite a big deal.
Cool. All right, next up, core plans 1365. Builder does not build LLVM.
Yeah, this is kind of the restriction we have in monitor time.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. This restriction about what?
This is how much build time we allocate for the builders, for the workers.
Gotcha. Okay. And it looks like this already has some labels on it. So I'm guessing this is something we want to do. This is just a matter of like extending the timeout.
Well, I'm not sure extending the timeout without making any other changes is the way to go because it's significantly longer than what we have right now, which I think we have it at set to 2 hours.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could, but I think there's a suggestion. It looks like we could make some replacements and fix it so the plan runs in shorter amount of time. It's like if we could do some improvements there, then I think that's a better chance of us extending out the timeouts to be able to build this with Builder.
Okay. So as far as where to put this, should it go in the backlog for now, or I'm guessing we don't.
I think it can go into the backlog.
Okay.
To improve the plan so that it's just building shorter, even locally, and then come back and look at what the timeout needs to be.
And it looks like this is related here. Habitat 4922, builder timeout is too short. And this is, just basically a request to increase the timeout past 90 minutes.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then memory is the other issue. So yeah, I think the same issue here. We just need to tune it and see. The memory is going to be a harder thing if the memory is really the bottleneck on this.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it doesn't seem like it is because it does run for a while and then it leaves out.
All right. Next up is Habitat 4920. Add package install bin link exit 0 on failure. So it looks like it's, well, it looks like it's, I'm going to guess that it's exiting 0 because
it's skipped.
It's skipped. Yeah, it's not like the bin link actually failed, right? It just didn't do it.
We should probably have a different exit code for skipped. You know, I mean, even if it's not 1, even if it's like 2 or 3 or, you know, 258.
Okay. Let's see. So this is the CLI. And is this a bug?
So I'm still a little confused about this. This is not a failure.
It's not a failure, right? But it's also not a success.
It sounds like it's just confusing. Like they're expecting there to be a non-zero exit code because it didn't actually bin link anything.
So they're expecting it to be a failure, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or just probably, yeah, not 0.
It seems like whether or not it's a failure should depend on whether it would have done something different. Like if you just run bin link twice and like what it would have done was create the same bin link, I don't think that should be a failure. But if it would have done something different with force, then that probably should be a failure.
That might be the way to go. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not convinced that skipping is a non-zero exit state. I mean, the command succeeded. It did what it was supposed to do, which is not bin link something that's already there. So I think it's like a documentation thing, or I mean, I don't think that means you can't trust the command output to halt scripts or retry actions. That would be different if it actually bin linked to something it was not supposed to, or failed to bin link something.
Yeah, it's what John just said, right? It's if it's the same thing, then it's idempotent, it's success. But if it's something else that should have been replaced, then we need to maybe have a different code. So there's 2 cases here.
Well, so for this particular case, though, it would not have done anything differently if force had been passed. It would have been exactly the same.
Yeah.
It still would have skipped.
Yep.
So maybe this particular issue, I mean.
Wait, wouldn't it have done something different if force was passed? It would have remade the link either to the same thing or possibly to a different thing. Just depends on what was previously installed.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, it's probably an easy enough workaround for them to use force in the scripts for now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should mimic the behavior of just like the link tool that people are used to. Because I think if you just do an ln and it's already there, it does fail.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, well maybe that's why it's a problem, because they're expecting it to behave like other linking, the normal Unix link tool. Well, regardless, is this, I mean, this feels like something that should probably get at least some further attention, right? Let's see, I'm just kind of debating what to do here.
Sounds like a needs discussion label.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take it back. I'm not actually sure what the behavior of the link tool is. It seems like at least with the symbolic link, it doesn't give you an error. So yeah, that's worth looking more into.
All right, sounds good.
How could you not know the man page for LN, John?
All right, next is Habitat 4913. Date format in the changelog is incorrect. I think I even commented on that. Yeah, the date format should be represented in a format that's understandable everywhere, not just the United States. So I totally agree on that. Travis is broken.
Is that? Still the case?
I thought this came back. This is from 5 days ago. I think Travis is working now, though, isn't it? Let's see. I'm going to check real quick and just see if there's any PRs on core plans right now where Travis is working. I don't think this is still an outstanding issue. Yeah, it looks like Travis is working fine now. All right, I'm gonna close this. Okay, next up. Habitat 4911, loss of initial peers, have soup directory, data directory on restart causes ring dissolution. Wow.
Wow. Applause for a solid bug report.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should definitely at least like take the steps to try and repro this.
Okay. All right, next is Builder 373, opened by John.
Yeah, I think I've seen this a few times also. It just looks like it's something intermittent with GitHub, and not quite sure what the fix is for this. There's a card that I've opened for refactoring our plan connection process, because for public repos, we don't actually need to use GitHub authentication, and that takes a lot of these issues off the table. So if we do that, I think that will really minimize it. But for now, you know, it's just something that happens once in a while.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do we do a retry at all? Do we know in our cloning operation?
I don't remember. Well, actually, maybe. Yeah, I don't. I'll have to go back and check. We might not be doing a retry, but.
All right. Well, it sounds like it's something we're gonna sort out regardless. So. Only 9 issues to go. Wow. All right. Next is Habitat 4945. That Matt opened. Properly stop supervisor when exiting the local Windows Studio.
I opened that 1 second ago. You can happily move on.
Cool.
I just, yeah.
I'll just drop that in the backlog then. All right, next is Habitat 4905, release on crates.io. Right.
Was there a reason that we Didn't have it on crates.
Historically, I think the reason that I've been told why it's not hosted, or we haven't uploaded it to crates.io is because it was written quickly. There was a lot of kind of highly specific, non-general purpose stuff in there. And people just felt like it probably wasn't worth sharing. I mean, it wasn't something that would be like generally useful to the Rust community. That's what I've heard as to why we don't have it up there.
I don't know, like how much trouble it would be to make it part of our just release process. I mean, we're already tagging. So I've never actually uploaded anything to crates, but it doesn't seem like it would be too difficult to cut a release inside of our existing release process.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of think I'm missing the use case here. Is this just about wanting to install the HAB CLI with cargo? Or is there something else that, like, some of the reason why this would be a useful thing to have it on the crates?
Is it not just an adoption thing?
Yeah,
maybe it is.
I think it's just giving people another on-ramp and getting the HAB binary for people that don't like curl bash.
All right. Well, is this something we want to look into more?
Yeah, I'd say it's a fine thing to put in the backlog.
Okay.
It seems like that also might be a help wanted item. Like we might not prioritize it internally very.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, given the scope of other work in flight.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. All right. Habitat 4904, update the docs with supervisor changes.
I would say since Tasha submitted this, it automatically goes straight to the backlog.
This is definitely something.
Do not pass go, just straight to backlog.
Guys, I got to drop. See you in a bit.
All right. See you soon. All right. Core plans 1354. Ruby, promote Ruby 2.4.3 to stable. Okay. Seems fun. Not sure why we wouldn't want to do that.
Does that need a vertical assigned? Or is that just implied because it's in the core plans repo?
I mean, we could attach a vertical label to it, but I think it's probably implied.
Yeah, if one of you guys wants to put a vertical label on there, go for it. All right. Habitat 4897. Interrupted package install could leave package in a bad state.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Wait, can you scroll back up just a little bit? Up to the second block. That one. Okay.
Right, so the install didn't finish, so it was not found. I mean, I guess this is a common thing in all package managers. You either have to do it in a file system and move it over, or do it in a transaction.
Right. I mean, that's
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this definitely seems like something worth investigating further.
Yeah, this seems like an excellent candidate for the use of tempter.
Yeah, and conveniently already has a slew of labels on it. That's fantastic. All right, next up, Habitat 4946 cannot upload packages from local Windows Studio.
Again, I just hit the save. Yeah.
This is a contrast to the best ever request that we saw a short while ago.
And this goes in the, let's see, is this DevX? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably. I don't think Matt gets his own Windows vertical.
All right, next up is Builder 358. Habitat picks up keys of the wrong origin. Oh, I think we talked about this before, haven't we?
We have, yeah. I think Matt followed up and somebody else followed up. Yeah, Salim. But they haven't gotten back with any debugging information.
All right. All right. Next is Habitat 4189. And John, open this. Handle have install dash be better.
It's just a reopen with some additional details.
Okay.
It's sort of like a minor usability thing. Basically, we don't need to do a bunch of the work that we're doing before we can figure out that like we've been given a bad version string.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, next up is Habitat 3249. Wow, opened back in September. Function is never based on service health.
Yeah, I think we probably need to have a larger conversation around, because I think we're getting down to like the faux RFCs. Like we don't actually have an RFC process
Right.
around this. So I think the next 5 or 6 of these issues are like this.
I think there's only 2 left. I think there's just this and one more.
Okay.
So what do we do with this? Like, we don't have an RFC process, but it sounds like there's some discussion that needs to happen. Should I just leave it in needs triage and we like check in on it every week, or?
That has been the course so far.
Okay. Well, at least I'll add a vertical label here. All right. I'll just leave it there. And last but not least, for plans 587. Default flags for habitat builds. And I don't, is this
Nice
an
idea.
actual- Wow, okay, so there's a lot of information here.
Is this something that could just be put into documentation as, hey, if you want to do this, here's an approach?
Maybe. Yeah, GCC, that.
And it feels like, I mean, given all the comments on here, this is bigger than just GCC and G++. There's a lot of, there's some comments here about flags that are useful for more plans than just those.
Feels like this is like a section on building packages documentation that says, if you are building packages with a very specific purview on hardening them, here's some stuff you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And GCC, I mean, it's a pretty, is GCC a tier 1 package? Do I know? It's off their head.
Off the top.
I'm going to look. It is a stage 1. So this could be potentially painful for people to do by themselves because it's basically a rebuild the world package. But that's also good to get out in the documentation if we don't already have it.
And technically, this isn't actually an RFC.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Stephen on this one that, like, if you want to run different hardening flags for GCC, like, we should provide you the tools to build GCC yourself. And I mean, it's sort of like anybody wanting to run, you know, PHP with a bunch of weird flags, like PostGIS or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not a weird flag for PHP, but it's the first one that came to mind.
So it sounds like what we want to do is write up some documentation on how to do this kind of thing. This is something that you want to do.
I can check in with SSD, and this is I could see this being useful for some of the stuff that my team's doing, and I like writing documentation. So I'll check in with SSD and see if there's a kind of a general set of approaches that we could put together.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that does it. Oh,
Matt's still sneaking in issues. You want to? It's a fire sale. If you want your issues triage, get them in now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put this straight in the backlog. All right. Well, I think we're done. There's no more issues to triage.
Awesome.
Look at that, 18 minutes early.
For the first time in a long time.
Well done. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to
Everybody.
stop the broadcast.